Hey everybody, welcome to week 5 of summer session. This week we'll be wrapping up the researched argument essay and beginning work on the outcomes assessment essay. So I just want to kind of give you guys a little pat on the back, I guess. You guys have been doing great so far. I'm really excited with what I've been seeing submitted in the course. And another thing, so the outcomes assessment, and you'll see this in the video that I have for that assignment. Outcomes assessment is a process that the school uses to determine whether or not you're ready to move on to the next level, which is English 102. So you're going to have to submit this outcomes assessment essay to another website where other instructors that teach English 101 at CWI are going to evaluate it and see if you met the outcomes for the course. I'm also going to give you a grade for this assignment, but I want to give you guys a little, push here. The research assignment is a lot harder than the outcomes assessment essay. So if you do well on this researched essay, then you should do great on outcomes. And I do this on purpose to help you guys see that the outcomes assessment really isn't as scary as it seems. So hopefully it comes across that way when you start working on that essay this week. So you have some readings this week, and these are all readings that you'll be using in your outcomes assessment essay. So one thing that's a little bit different from the researched argument essay is that the readings for the outcomes assessment are actually assigned to you, and you can only use these readings in the essay. You cannot find any other sources, and you have to use at least 2 of these sources in your essay, and then you also have to have, I believe it's 6 in-text citations from those 2 sources. You can use more than 2, but you have to use at least 2, and they have to be from the readings. And there's readings this week and then also next week. So you have a discussion this week, and this is just to help you get more familiar with the readings, and this will again take place in your group discussion. I really do encourage you to post early so that others have time to read your responses and then respond to you as well. So like I said before, you're going to do your second draft of your researched argument essay, and I will review that one for you. And then you have your Unit 4 Outcomes Assessment essay that we're beginning. And here's a presentation on that. And then you will also be completing a brainstorming wiki to come up with some themes. So there's a specific prompt that you're going to have to respond to for the outcomes assessment essay, and I want you guys to try to come up with different ways you can approach this prompt. So that's kind of what that brainstorming wiki is for. And then you're going to do a summary and paraphrase wiki, and this is very similar to the assignment that you did for the last essay, the researched essay. And the nice thing about this is you're going to create an annotated bibliography, and you can take exactly what's in here in this summary and paraphrase for the sources that you do for this assignment and put that into your annotated bibliography that you're going to turn in, I believe, next week. So it's kind of a prep to get you ready for that bigger assignment, and it should take some of the burden off of that assignment when you get to that one. And I also want you to do a working outline. And the reason I want you to do this is so that, like the research proposal that you did last week, I want you to do this so that I can make sure that you're on the right track, because I want every single one of you to pass outcomes assessment. I don't want to have any of you go to portfolio review, which would be the next step. So I want everyone to pass outcomes assessment through the reading of your essay, and one of the best ways I can do that is to help you be prepared before you actually start writing it. So I will be checking these and making sure that they're submitted and graded pretty rapidly out, because I want to give you enough time to turn around and do those. And then finally, you have a journal this week, and hopefully it will be helpful to you as well in just evaluating how you're doing. So next week, in week 6, I would like to set up a time that we could meet. And since I did early time this last week, I will, or for week 4, I'm hoping to do one maybe later in the afternoon before I have to pick up my kids from school, so that we can all get together. And if you need help, and especially with the outcomes assessment essay, at this point you should have a draft created, and then I can give you some feedback before you submit that second draft, and we can make sure that you're on the right track, because again, this is something that's going to be evaluated by other instructors and not just me. So again, as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you all have a wonderful week 5, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you produce this week. Thank you.